Hi everyone, The Lone Wolf here and welcome back to the Sunday recap, my weekly vlog where I talk a bit about my last week in games, and as always we'll start with my last week in EVE Online. That has been pretty good. I did a little bit of the hunt, not too much honestly. I didn't grind the sites for those gecko blueprints or anything like that. I think that basically it's gonna create a nice investment opportunity, so anyone that has some ISK can take advantage of this, but keep in mind of course that the gecko is something that's more of a long-term investment because you need that fresh supply of course to be used up a little bit, and so it will take some time for the gecko to actually come back, but I'm seeing it in that light and not really willing to like grind for hours on end just to get all those BPCs and things like that. But I enjoy and enjoyed the hunt quite a little bit. Decently challenging but also very rewarding as a return, so not bad at all in my opinion. Also very nice for newer players to learn the D-scan because you get to grab those keys yourself from those capsules, which you have to find mostly through the D-scan. So pretty cool event in my opinion. Next to that I did basically a little bit of everything else. I went on some mining in order to get some extra feldspar, make compressed feldspar, and we've got some extra ready to bring to Jita at this point. That's where I'm basically gathering my mineral reserves, and I also did a couple of emerging conduits in the rattlesnake, which I think is going to be interesting after the next patch of course, because the resistances will go down but we get 10% more HP, so for the passive rattlesnake that could actually be just fine. And then of course a little bit of exploration as well, not too much, but you know, just enjoying my time scanning down signatures and trying to find some good stuff to do. The blueprint copies are back up and running as well, so I'm getting ready to do my next sale in Jita for that one. And of course well, we have a massive balance patch, if you want to call it that. Nerf patch I think is what most people would call it, coming up next week with resistance nerf across the board, then boosts to short range ammo, which is not very good for people that fear the gankers of course, because their effectiveness is going to go up quite a lot because of both changes. Of course you get less effective EHP because of resistances, and the gankers get more damage out of their catalysts, for instance, with Tech 2 ammo. So that does promise a lot more destruction in the game, which is actually the aim from CCP with this patch, and also of course to nerf the super carriers, especially there they want that effective EHP to go down substantially so that we have more destruction rather than the stalemate fights, which is what they basically want to avoid here. So it's gonna be interesting. The Headgate has gone up to like 80 million ISK. The Confessor, same thing. So the Tech 3 cruisers are definitely in the meta at this point, and overall we'll have to see how this affects PvE activities of course. Mission running, abyssal running, things like that might need a little bit of tweaking when it comes to the ship fits that we use in there. But overall, yeah, looking forward to it of course, and then we'll see once the Eclipse actually starts and CCP starts to roll out the rest of the storyline. That could be very interesting as well. And next to EVE Online, I only played one other game, but I played a lot of this other game. It's X4 Foundations. So lots of fun. Honestly, I absolutely am still very impressed with the map, the detail of the game. You can basically zoom in on any station, and there you have every ship flying around there, docking, exchanging goods, all in real life, using drones and things like that. It's very crazy. I started building up some stations, including a station in a Paranid system where the Xenon are trying to attack at the moment. It's very interesting. It's definitely a lot of fun, and basically it does follow a sort of a logic there as well. The Paranid actually started a war with the Argon and the Antigone, so those are I think both Argon factions, and they're trying to take over a system. They had to commit quite a few forces there, and so the Xenon started to move in on one of the Paranid systems in response. trying to put down some defensive stations and things like that. So I decided to move in there as well, move some forces in there and try to build up a defense station there as well. And that's basically what I'm trying to do at the moment. Very, very cool, of course. I've got like 3 dozen miners going out mining wherever there's a refinery. So if there's a local refinery, I put a miner that can basically service that so that I get a nice income. And then the headquarters, I basically finished all of the research except for the shield ones, because that needs me to get hit by stuff, which I haven't done yet. I'm definitely playing this as the manager style, trying to build up a massive corporation, big fleets, things like that, and then try to make my mark on the X4 universe. It's an incredible game if you like EVE Online, but you want something where you can have a much bigger impact much more quickly, despite the fact that it's a pretty slow, grindy game. Compare that to EVE Online, where it can take years for you to build up stuff of significant size, where you really feel like, all right, I'm actually managing lots of different things there. It's a lot faster, of course. You buy your ships, you buy your miners, you give them orders. You've got pilots in every ship, so once you can teleport around, it's a lot of fun to just watch your stuff be built, do things for you, follow your orders. And then you've got the NPC interaction, which is actually pretty damn impressive, considering the sandboxy nature, the scale of this, the technical prowess, I must say, of X4 Foundations is really impressive in my book. If you like sci-fi games, if you like sandbox games, if you like 4X games, something that's a little bit slower, more methodical, then I would highly recommend X4 Foundations. With the expansion, I think it adds a lot. It basically does increase the size of the universe substantially, with like 2 split factions that are actually at war with each other. They don't always like you straight away, and it adds quite a few more systems with opportunities, with threats as well, with more xenon and things like that. So I would recommend that. You don't have to pay full price for it, just put them on your wish list, wait for like a discount or something like that. But it's an incredibly awesome game in my opinion. I'm having a lot of fun playing X4 Foundations, and I look forward to sharing that with you guys as well. I've made a couple videos already about my revisiting of X4 Foundations. It's a big hit, and 3.0 so far definitely working very nicely. No crashes, nothing like that. Yeah, thumbs up for X4 Foundations. Definitely brightened up my week, that I could spend quite a bit of time in there. And that was my last week in games, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time.